Hey Talking Fam, and welcome to another Talking Sports video, and today we will be going over Juan Soto trade rumors in honor of his home run derby championship yesterday. So he plays left field, obviously, and he recently, as you probably seen in the news, he turned down a 15-year, $440 million deal, and I'm just going off of some CBS stuff on the rankings of the teams going down, of the teams that don't have enough money, who are rebuilders, who have a lower chance, and we have the teams that could make plays, who are getting closer to might be able to get it, and then there's no chance, which is the rivals, like the three teams in their division. And then, of course, we have the mid-market contenders that there is a chance they might not get them. And then there's the top five, where I'll be going over each top five team that they can get. And I'll be going over each team's top left fielder and saying their stats and comparing them between Juan Soto. Alright, guys, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe down below. I would really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. Alright, to start off today, we have the teams that don't have enough money, that financially aren't good enough to get a player like Juan Soto. So to start off, we have the Athletics, and they definitely don't have enough money because they need to raise money right now to get their new stadium in Oakland or Las Vegas or anywhere around that. They also have to focus on their players right now. So right now, their left fielder is Tony Kemp, and his stats are average this season. He has a 203 batting average with 57 hits. So that's average. I mean, if they had the money, I would go for him, obviously, but they don't have the money, especially with their new stadium coming up. Next up, we have the Marlins, and that is this is more realistic, I'd say. I mean, they've become a team that's traded away their good players. Like, they had Giancarlo Stanton, they had Christian Yelich, they had Marcell Ozuna. They had all of the good players on their team, and I just don't think they can do it because they got Jesus Sanchez, who has a 201 batting average with 454 hits this season. And that's about average. That's a little bit lower than Tony Kemp. I think he has like 13 home runs this season. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the Rays. So this one is also like the Athletics. They're trying to get a new stadium, like the Athletics, and as their stadium is getting old as well. It was made in the 90s. It is a dome stadium, so that makes it more, they also have Randy Arozarena as their main left fielder. So I don't know if they would do it, because Randy Arozarena is one of the best left fielders, I think, in the game. He's one of the best, higher up players. This season he has a 254 batting average with 86 home run hits. I mean, so far halfway through the season, and Randy Arozarena he's really good. He was on the Cardinals prospects, minor leagues back in the days. And he also is on the Rays now, of course, and he is doing good with the Rays. Moving on to the Pirates, and according to ESPN, their left fielder is Ben Gamel. Ben Gamel has a 249 batting average with 46 hits, and Ben Gamel is not a player. I think if the Pirates had the money, they would go for just a second. So if the Pirates had the money, that I would go for Juan Soto, because Ben Gamel isn't really the best left fielder there is. So I would really go for that. Moving on, we have the Guardians, and that's Josh Naylor. I don't think they should, even if they had the money, I don't think they should go for Juan Soto, because they have Josh Naylor, and Josh Naylor has a 274 batting average with 61 hits this season. I mean, they could realistically trade away Josh Naylor for Juan Soto, but I don't think that would be a good trade. I think I think Josh Naylor has more potential really in him. I know Juan Soto is a good player. He is a good left fielder in the game and all of that. So I think that should be. Moving on to the Brewers, and they have Christian Yelich on their team with a 251 batting average with 82 home runs so far this season. And this is not realistic for the the Nationals to really trade for. I mean, they could trade Juan Soto for Christian Yelich, but I'm not so sure the Brewers would really give him up, because he's had 82 hits this season, and I think he's better than Juan Soto this year. I think the Brewers are going to go for Christian Yelich, or just going to stay with him. All right, now moving on to the rebuilders, and this doesn't really mean they aren't in a position to look for a left fielder right now, and CBS has the Royals, Reds, Diamondbacks, Orioles, Rockies, and Tigers on this list. So starting with the Royals, they have a good left fielder already with Andrew Benintendi. They are looking to trade him a little bit, but he is unvaccinated, so that is taking out his potential. But he is a good player, so I think the Royals should not trade away Andrew Benintendi, as he is good. They did not want to trade away good players right now if they are in a rebuild. So looking at Andrew Benintendi this season, he has a 317 batting average with 102 hits. So he's doing really good this year. Now moving on to the Reds, and right now they have Stuart Fairchild. He's only played in 4 games with a 250 batting average and 2 hits. And that's an 8 at-bats. So 2 hits and 8 at-bats, that's actually pretty good. So I don't know about Stuart Fairchild, but I think the Reds, if they definitely had the money and they wanted to get, and they weren't in a rebuild and they wanted to get Juan Soto, I think they should try at least. Now moving on to the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks has David Peralta. David Peralta is a type of guy who I think is a good left fielder. He has hit 61 hits with a 236 batting average, and David Peralta is pretty good if you think about it with his home runs and stuff. I think he has like 13 home runs or something like that. Moving on to the Orioles, and their left fielder is Ryan Mountcastle, and this season he has a 270 batting average with 84 hits. And I think the Orioles should just stay the way they are. Do not try to trade for Juan Soto. It would be good to see him stay in the Washington area in Baltimore, but I'm not so sure that's going to be possible, guys. Now moving on to the Rockies, their left fielder is Connor Joe. Connor Joe has a 262 batting average with 85 hits. Now this looks like a more realistic trade partner. Trade Connor Joe for Juan Soto, and that would be a good trade. And a couple more stuff in there. Add some prospects and all that, and the Nationals will accept the trade. Now moving on to the Tigers, and their left fielder is Robbie Grossman right now. And Grossman has not been doing so good so far this year at all. He has a 205 batting average with 50 hits. I would trade. If I were you, I would try to get Juan Soto if I were the Tigers right now. They have Javi. They have Miguel Cabrera at the moment, but he is probably going to retire at the end of the season. So I think it'll be more realistic for that. All right, now moving on to the teams that could make plays for him, and that includes the Cubs. The Cubs traded away Rizzo, Bryant, and Baez last season to the Yankees, Giants, and the Mets in order. So Rizzo to the Yankees, Bryant to the Giants, and Baez with the Mets. 2 of those players are on different teams now, as Rizzo is still on the Yankees, while Baez is on the Tigers, and Bryant is on the Rockies. So the Cubs right now, their left fielder is Seiya Suzuki, and he has a .272 batting average with 50 hits right now. He is good. He has 6 home runs, I think. He came from Japan last season, so we're looking at him now as he is a talented left fielder. Moving on to the Rangers, and they had a big offseason. They picked up Martin Perez and Corey Seager as well as Marcus Semien. So they have a second baseman and shortstop with a starting pitcher now. And I think that's a good offseason for the Rangers. If they can trade away Eli White, as Eli White has not done so good this season. In 47 games, he only has 21 hits and a .200 batting average. And if I were you, I would try to trade away like Eli White and some prospects for Juan Soto, and they have a really good team now. Martin Perez, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Juan Soto. Just think about it. What can they do? Next up, we have the White Sox. And this one is hard to tell because their left fielder, Eloy Jimenez, has a .197 batting average with 13 hits in 19 games. He's been injured almost all of the season. So I don't know what to say about the White Sox here. But, I mean, it would be good if Juan Soto could go to Chicago somewhere. Moving on to the Twins. That that one should be that would be a good combination. Byron Buxton and Juan Soto. I mean, that's a good combination in Minnesota. Their current left fielder is Kyle Garlick. He has a .273 batting average with 24 hits in 43 games. So I don't think their roster is that good right now in left field. So I think they could try to get Juan Soto. They could be making plays. Next up, we have the Padres, and their they have Manny Machado, Eric Hosmer, Jake Cronenworth, and Fernando Tatis Jr. If they get Juan Soto, they can pair up all of those players together, and they have a shortstop, second baseman, third baseman, first baseman, left field, all a good team. So right now, their left fielder is Will Myers. He has a .234 batting average with 29 hits in 32 games. So I think Will Myers can be traded away to the Nationals if they get Juan Soto. So I think that is a good trade for the Nationals. Now let's take a look at teams that have no chance, who are rivals with the Nationals, and most of these teams, I think they're perfect the way they are. So first up, we have the Braves, who lost Freddie Freeman at first base last year in the offseason. Their left fielders, they have 3 left fielders who are combined, which is Eddie Rosario, Adam Duvall, and Marcell Ozuna. Together, they have 147 combined hits. I think they are good in left field right now. Next up, we have the Phillies, and he could be reunited with a fellow left fielder, Kyle Schwarber. So, as you know, Kyle Schwarber was on the Nationals, signed with the Nationals in the beginning of last season, and he stayed at the Nationals until the trade deadline, where he traded to the Red Sox, and now he signed with the Phillies in the offseason. So to be reunited with his former teammate here, and but Kyle Schwarber has a .208 batting average with 70 hits. So I don't think he also has 29 home runs. So I don't think they are realistically able to trade anyway. So yeah. So now we have the Mets, and they have Pete Alonso, so that could be a good combination of Pete and Juan Soto. They have Mark Canha right now, who went from the Athletics to the Mets this offseason, and he has a .269 batting average with 70 hits this year. I think he's doing good with them. I don't think they need to get a new left fielder like Juan Soto right now. I think Mark Canha is good. He could be a designated hitter, but I think Juan Soto is good the way they are. Now, moving on to the mid-market contenders, and these are teams that definitely have a chance of getting him, but they might not be able to accept the contract offers that Juan Soto wants. Let's take a look. First, we have the Astros, and their their left fielder right now is Michael Brantley, and right now he has a 288 batting average with 70 hits. And I think they're good in left field right now. Anyway, I think Michael Brantley is a pretty good left fielder to be on the Astros right now. I think they are set at left field for a while. Now moving on, we have the Toronto Blue Jays. He to be partnered with Vladdy. Now they do have Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who has a 306 batting average with 93 hits. So I don't think it's realistically trading away to Juan Soto, because I think Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is a fairly good left fielder. Now moving on, we have the Red Sox, and that will include Alex Verdugo in there, as he has a 262 batting average with 88 hits, and that is pretty good as well. I think Alex Verdugo is a really good left fielder as well, so I don't think any of the big market contenders should go for him. And moving on, we have the top 5 teams that could go for him, that CBS thinks should have him. And at number 5, we have Seattle Mariners. They have Jesse Winker right now, who has a 230 batting average with 70 hits, and I think they should try to go for Juan. The Mariners are having a 14-game win streak right now, entering the All-Star break, and they have Juan, and I think they have a very good chance of getting them. Moving on to number 4, we have the San Fran Giants, and they have Austin Slater right now, who is a 303 average with a 46 hits. Austin Slater, I think they should try to get Juan Soto as well. I think Austin Slater and they have another one. But yeah, Austin Slater is okay. I think they could try to get him. Now moving on to the Yankees, and he could be paired with Aaron Hicks and Aaron Judge. And I think that would be a good combination with Aaron Hicks in center, Aaron Judge in right, and Juan Soto in left. And their current left fielder right now is Joey Gallo, and he's not doing good right now at all. He is not. I mean, he's not. So he has a 164 batting average with 36 hits, and no, he's not played like 30 games. He's played 75 games. It's not like he's played like 30 or 20 or 25 like that. He has only played in 75 games. So, he's not good anymore, guys. He was good on the Rangers, but ever since he went to the Yankees, he's not done good. Moving on, we have number 2, and we have Chris Taylor. And Chris Taylor, I do not personally like him. He's currently injured on the IL, on the 10-day IL right now. So they could realistically go for Juan Soto. He has a 238 batting average with 60 hits right now. And I think Chris Taylor has the power to be able to be traded to the Nationals for Juan Soto. I think Taylor is a really good left fielder. I think he has a chance. Now moving on to number 1, and this is the number 1, and we have the St. Louis Cardinals. And Tyler O'Neill is their current left fielder, as he is he's been injured off and on this season. He's played in 48 games so far, and he's a 239 batting average with 42 hits. He's only hit 4 home runs, though, and last year he did hit about 20-something home runs, and he's only hit 4 home runs this year. So his home run hitting is definitely low right now. I think the Cardinals really should get Juan Soto, because I am a Cardinals fan, of course, and Juan Soto is a very good left fielder, so I think we should try to get him. And keep in mind that Juan Soto's stats for the season is at 250 with 78 hits in 91 games. I think that's almost all the games the Nationals have played, and I think he is a very good left fielder, guys. So Juan Soto, there is all the 30 teams ranked in order. So guys, that is today's video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe down below. I would really appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. Have a great day and peace.